Y'all better call her Macklemore because today, gals and pals, that's right, we're going thrift shopping. I'm doing this for you, bestie Macklemore, so you better like and subscribe. Unless you want to catch these hands, these feisty little hands. You don't want to risk it, trust me. Obviously, this is Timmy and Tommy's small, local thrift store business, so I'm not taking any credit for it. They just contracted me to bring in all of the supplies. I had to take care of some quick business first though. Don't even worry about that. Disregard that. The first thing that I'm doing is I'm putting down this little dirt path area. We're just throwing down some dirt. This kind of gives me flea market vibes. Flea markets are outside, maybe like yard sale, right? Yard sale vibes, like directly outside of Nook's Cranny. They've got the dirt. Then we're gonna throw lots of items on top of that. We're throwing items everywhere, all around this entire build, obviously. All of the items that villagers have donated for the thrift store, which now that I think about it, doesn't make too much sense that the thrift store is gonna be selling all of the items that villagers donated. But I guess other villagers might want the items that other villagers that aren't them donated, obviously. So I'm putting down some boxes that are obviously gonna be filled with like used books and stuff and some clothing. Timmy and Tommy are currently in the process of talking to Mabel about expanding their thrift store to include them as well. So eventually the Able Sisters is also going to be a thrift store. They're going to sell lots of used clothing. So don't worry about that, but we're just starting this business here for Timmy and Tommy at Nook's Cranny, this thrift store. Of course, there's going to be lots of toys at this thrift store because Timmy and Tommy are children. No, it's not ethical for them to be running their own thrift store when they are children, but since when does Mr. Tomothy Nookathy care about ethics? So they own this business all on their own. They work pretty early in the morning to pretty late at night. I think they work like, what? They work like 14-hour shifts. It's kind of messed up, but they've got cookies outside, so can they really complain? I think that they can, and they should probably complain. Maybe they should form like a union or something. I don't know. Not my place to say. I'm just here to help them out. I guess as the resident rep, you know what? I should probably be saying something about this. I should probably be standing up against this because it goes against what I believe in, but I am scared of Tom Nook, so you guys didn't hear anything that I just said. This is perfectly fine. Don't even worry about it. Anywho, I'm mixing up some different kinds of pathing, throwing down a little bench. In order to support Timmy and Tommy, I went inside of their store and I bought some supplies. I saw this super cute ping pong table. It doesn't make too much sense that I just bought something from their store and now they're going to be selling it at their outdoor thrift store at a discounted price, but I have no thoughts in this little head of mine, so it's fine. For all they know, I could have just had a different ping pong table that I'm now going to put outside that looks exactly like the ping pong table that I just bought from them and is brand spanking new, never used before. It's just a coincidence that they are now gonna have another ping pong table outside. Anyway, I'm putting down some of these little wood areas. I just thought it was nice to mix up the pathing and make it look like there's separate designated areas since thrift stores typically do that. They have like one area for clothing, one area for furniture, one for toys, etc., etc. I don't actually designate these different areas to different items. I just wanted that vibe. Graham had to take a moment to tell me that he wants to call me Sweetkins, which obviously I said yes to. What an angel. Not a day goes by where I don't show Graham some love. So recently, Salad Crossing did an island tour of this amazing Kidcore island, and on that island they had a bunch of balloon presents dropped all over, and that honestly inspired me to do the same thing. Since I always just ignore the presents anyway because I don't really care about them, I have so many items already, I don't really need anything more, especially during the summer. I already have all the DIYs, so I've decided that I'm just gonna start start popping the balloons and letting them drop and leaving them wherever they drop. I think it adds a very cute touch, and I'm just adding lots of hedge fencing, my favorite fencing. Obviously the hedge fencing and the country fencing are the best fencing in the game. If you disagree, you are wrong. And I'm putting down some water. I thought the water was so cute because it's got little toys in it, so it kind of adds that extra thrift store touch as well as being Kidcore. It looks like spilled stuff. Maybe the roof is leaking. And I finally got to use this flag. Gorgeous. Love this flag. It's so big. I don't know what purpose it would serve in a thrift store, but sometimes thrift stores just have extravagant stuff. So I thought that was so cute. And we're throwing down an egg. The egg is not for sale, if you're wondering, but it's there for decoration. In this little area over here, I struggled a lot with. I was just placing things weirdly, and I think the items that I used was difficult, but I figured it all out later, so do not fret. And over here, I decided to just line the one tile wide area next to Nook's Cranny with a couple of random items. This build was actually so much fun because I didn't have to care about items matching. I literally just grabbed a bunch of items that I didn't know what to do with that had just been clogging up my storage and threw them into this build. That's honestly my inspiration for creating this. I just wanted to use a bunch of items that I had been hoarding. I think it turns out so cute. I highly recommend doing a thrift store kind of build. It's also, I feel like it's pretty Kidcore, especially if you use a lot of toys. I think it's very cute. And then back here, I'm just adding another one of those little wooden plank areas. I expanded out the cliff back there because I decided to put some trees just to fill in the space. I thought the presents were such a cute touch. You know, those are clearly meant for Christmas, meant for Toy Day, but like I said, nothing in this build had to match. None of it had to make sense. You can just put random items of any season down and it looked perfect. I had to go talk to Lopez and Beryl because Lopez has a history of bullying my villagers, and I was not about to have him bully Beryl. He did a little bit of bullying, but Beryl wasn't too upset. He didn't storm away and cry or anything, so I think we're good. Lopez is not on good terms with me, but as long as he didn't hurt Beryl, I wasn't gonna do anything in that moment. I'm just putting some pathing that leads up to that back area so you know you can go back there, and throwing down some more random items. I was so excited to put down those train sets because I feel like they're fairly difficult to incorporate into your island. At least for me, they're difficult to incorporate into the island because they're so big and they're like a weird shape. I don't know if anybody else would describe a square as a weird shape, but they're just too square, you know, and they like go to the very edge of the squares that the tiles that they're filling in. So to me, they're just difficult to incorporate, but I knew that they would be absolutely perfect for a thrift store. Thrift stores always have like weird little train toys, and they also kind of look like tables that items are placed on top of that you can buy, you know. I was very excited to be able to use this zodiac table as well, since that's definitely an item that I wouldn't be able to incorporate into my island otherwise. And I'm just throwing down lots and lots of little items now, and here you're gonna see my struggle, all of the problems that I have with this area over here, me struggling to put down items everywhere. I couldn't figure it out. I was shuffling things around so much, trying different items. I really wanted the dollhouse and the doll and the wardrobe and the desk and the umbrella. I pretty much wanted everything that I put down there. I just couldn't figure out how to put it all together. But it works out. It works out eventually. And I thought it was cute to put a book down and then put my little book custom design right next to it. So it's like there's two books. Wow, crazy, revolutionary. And I plant my trees back behind Nooks. There's not much to that. I don't put anything back there except the trees. I haven't even decorated back there yet, but I think I'll just like fill it with flowers or something eventually. Speaking of flowers, I'm grabbing my flowers. I always grab one flower of every color for every build that I do. So we're throwing some flowers down. I do end up putting a staircase right there eventually. I don't know why I've been procrastinating on putting a staircase there, but a staircase does go there. You'll see later, which it leads down to Able Sisters, which I think is very cute. I kind of had a similar thing on my previous island where one shop was on the lower level and then you could see the second shop on the upper level, like right behind it. And I really like that. I like them being near each other, but also on different levels and like having their own separate areas, but the other is easy to get to from the first one. I think it's very cute. And I put down some more custom designs underneath the flag. I thought it just looked too empty under there. I wanted to not have custom designs under it, but it was just bothering me too much, so I put custom designs under it. And I'm just throwing some more random items to fill the space. Here's where I build the staircase. I put the staircase down and then we're gonna skip to the next day so that we can actually walk up the staircase. I'm just finishing up adding some pathing right here. I wanted a different kind of pathing than those colorful planks, so I messed around with the different tiles and custom designs that I have, and eventually I end up picking these flowers. I just feel like they look the best. I think that's how you decide on everything when you're designing things, is what looks best, but I thought I would specify that those look best. So yeah. And then I put down a green mom right there, and I put some fencing behind the train sets just to fill that space. And I put some more fencing behind this cliff here to fill the space as well. I always like to fill the space behind cliffs. Even if you can't see it, I still like to know that something is there. And I finished the pathing that leads up to this staircase. Obviously, I'm going to be decorating the Able Sisters later at some point, but I just wanted pathing that leads up to there so that it doesn't look weird, and so that like you know that the staircase, there's a staircase there since you can't really see it very well. And now we get to check out the finished product. So you can enter this build from behind the Pride Parade area, and it's tucked in behind the water park cliffs. There's just lots of items that you can check out, that you can purchase. You can make a whole day out of it. Come get your dolls. Just lots of variety. You can even take a nap. Who's gonna stop you? Timmy and Tommy never leave the inside of their store, so they'll never know. And there is a back little storage room that you can go in as well that has extra items. That is everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I highly recommend making a thrift store build, especially if you have a lot of random items in your storage that you don't know what to do with. I think this is such a perfect way to just use up a bunch of items, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!